Hey everybody, welcome to Review with Me, your review guide of shows, movies, and everything in between. Be sure to click the like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with this review. Hello, welcome back, welcome back. Let's get into it. We are reviewing episodes 11 and 12 of Ready to Love season 10. Let's jump right into it. Episode 11 titled Convict Curve Ball. Convict Curve Ball. So the men, they introduce their connections to their loved ones. You know how it goes. Introduce you to your family, and then vice versa. That's what happened in episode 12 in reverse. But let's get into episode 11 for this part. So Jay introduces Kiera to his parents, his cousin, his aunt, the dog, the pool. Like, damn. I understand how Kiera could have felt. Well, not even could have. She said she's nervous. She felt nervous. And that is understandable. What I didn't like about how she handled it was her lack of preparation. I don't know if Jay just didn't tell her anything about who she'll be meeting, but I think especially if you're going to meet someone's parents and damn near a great aunt, because that aunt looked like she could have been a great aunt, or maybe the oldest sibling for the mother. But anyway, yeah, the oldest sister for the mother. But anyway, she she walks in with nothing. Kiara walks in to their outdoor setting with nothing in her hands but her satchel of a purse, trying to swing it, keep it on the side of her. And she walks in with nothing in her hands. Kiara did not come prepared. That is shameful. That is shameful. That is really shameful. I'm not saying you have to come in with like gifts galore, but at the very least, you should have came with a bouquet of flowers or a bottle of champagne, a sparkling cider. Damn, bit like a gift card. Anyway, she didn't come in with anything. I did note that if I don't know if this is the house that Jay grew up in, but Jay looks like he grew up in a stable environment, to say the least. A stable environment. So for him to have turned out to be this, not trying to say he's trying to act hood or anything, but he has this bravado about him that gives the impression that he got it out the mud. And I'm here to tell you, Jay, no, you did not. No, you did not, Jay. So he is, imagine they have a pool. The house looks big from the outside. They have this outdoor patio set. Jay looked like he came from a nice upbringing, two-parent household. Parents been married for 30 plus years. What how did you end up with the baby mama, Jay? And he has two kids. I don't know if he has two different baby mamas, but nonetheless, let's continue. Jay is hesitant about bringing Kiara around his kids and giving a whole introduction of Kiara to his children. He says this in the confessional because during the meetup, his aunt said to Kiara, "Oh, you could meet his kids and vice versa." I think Kiara was the one who said the next step would be for them to intertwine their children and meet each other's children, especially because yes, they're embarking on this new relationship, but also their kids are near the same age. But Jay, during his confessional, is saying, I don't know. Hold up. I'm just here for the show. That's what Jay said. Jay said, hold him up, swole him up. That's what he said. And he said he's hesitant because of how Kiara behaved during their getaway. How Kiara was childish, how Kiara was immature, and she didn't communicate effectively. She gave him the cold shoulder. She talked down to him. She cursed at him. She was completely out of line. Now, granted, Jay wasn't in the right either. He should not have been rubbing up on Sahara, regardless of him saying he never had sexual intentions with her. It's the principle, dude. Why are you rubbing up on anyone like that aside from me? But Kiara's response to that was just as bad. Two wrongs don't make a right. His mom advised, so they talk about that. They talk about that. His mom advised Kiara to communicate. You need to know how to communicate because that won't be the first time and last time. That won't be the last time you get mad at him. If you guys plan on being together, there'll be plenty of times in which you'll be mad at him. And she references her marriage with, her husband. And she says, he's gotten me mad many times. He's looking at her like, this ain't about me. But that is the truth. You can't expect someone to just be perfect and never get you angry. Like, we're human beings. We're going to fall short. We're going to not handle things as best as we could, or maybe, whatever the case is, but you have to commit to communicating yourself in a proper way for us to get over it. If you want to get over it. So we get to Hussein. Hussein introduces Rose. Remember, perfect Rose. He introduces Rose to his brothers. I think one was his brother, one was his cousin, I believe. Rose starts talking, how she's giving up. I'm just wifey material. I'm wifey. Ain't nothing wrong about me. She says it's weird. It's kind of weird, but my sister's my BFF. My sister's girl, that ain't weird, bitch. Who has ever said that is weird? The actual thing is to be best friends with your siblings, your cousins, especially your first cousins first, before you're friends with someone outside of your family. So what are you talking about, bro? She just be saying stuff to really put on this facade that she is just I'm just so perfect. You can't say anything about me. I'm nurturing. Even my ex-boyfriends don't even have anything negative to say. Girl. But then we get to the meat and potatoes here. We get to the meat and potatoes. And we learn that Rose's son's father is incarcerated. Still is. I don't know for how long, but he's been serving for a while. And he is still incarcerated. I don't know how long he has left on his sentence. But the point is, you're telling us this in episode 11? And she says it so dismissively. She actually reveals it for the first time to Hussein's surprise. He did not know this beforehand. So he's sitting there next to his family and he's looking dumbfounded, looking like a sucker, like he said. And he's absolutely right. So we learned that Hussein is devastated because why didn't you tell me? And one may say, well, why does he need to know? This had nothing to do with us. The reason why is you want to be mindful of what you may get yourself into. You want to know all the information. And when you're robbed of that, that is a lie. That is a form of betrayal. So Hussein is definitely in the right. And Rose, it's astonishing to me how flippant she was throughout this episode after this revelation. And she says it like, well, he didn't ask. Or who asked? Oh, is your son's father in prison? First of all, that would be an offensive question to ask because what makes you want to even ask me that, right? That's something that you have to share from the get. Just like how Kiara did in the first few episodes of this season. Kiara told us that she was with the guy. I think it was her son's father. And he has been in and out of jail, all these things. So Kiara, at the very least, laid it out. But then, what's her name? Rose's defense to that was, no, Kiara didn't say that to the girls. She said that she's finding, she didn't say that to the girls. She didn't say that in the, in the vault. She said it to some people at the house, but I wasn't there. It wasn't like, oh, now I could share too. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You should have, during the ex's call, you should have made a conversation to share this. Angie joined Hussein, and she talks about how she has a great relationship with her son's father. They're great, and he's not in prison. We get to Tay. Tay meets Cisco's sister. Cisco's sister looking like they're not sisters. I remember Cisco telling us he is Dominican. I always say it wrong. Dominican. But wow, the complexion is different. The complexion is different here. I wonder if we have the same father or mother. Who knows? One of the parents is different. Okay, one of the parents is different. I know sometimes DNA works. Shut up. One of the parents is different. Tay, of course, brings up the whole instability that Cisco has at this current stage of his life. Cisco gets annoyed with that internally and in the confessionals. So he shares his nuisance about that. Thinking that, I thought we already talked about this. Why are we still bringing this up? Granted, that's true, right? It's annoying when someone brings up something that we've already discussed ad nauseum. But it's a show, and this has been your storyline. So of course, Tay, if she has a producer on the show that's like coaxing her, I think she was probably coerced to bring this up. But I also want to know, what is, because I said this before, what is Cisco's vision for himself? I hate those questions. I never like, oh, what do you want to see for 5 years? I'm always I'm a momentous type of gal. In the moment, what works and feels right now. I think I'll go ahead and do it. I impulsively applied to the doctoral program that I'm in right now. I applied to it last year or a year prior to that, because I started last year, 2024. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and apply. I applied. I was bored. And I was thinking about it. And I decided to, let me check out the informational session, the virtual informational session. I was really impressed with what they said and how everything was presented. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and gather my materials and send in this application. And bitch, that's what the fuck I did. So the point is, sometimes people expect you to have a detailed plan, a vision board of what your life is going to look like the next 10 years. That's overwhelming and that's unrealistic, because just like, it's not in the Bible, but there's a saying that says, when we make a plan, God laughs. So I say all that to say, I think it's best to go in momentous ways of living. I really do. I don't think we should be so meticulous in everything that we do. Is at least some people. Me being neurodivergent, I guess that works for me and people like me. Nonetheless, Cisco, he needs a plan though. This don't apply to him. This don't apply to this nigga, okay? He needs I need to talk it out with you. What is the vision? What are we doing? Because because I'm gonna jump around just in this moment here. In the finale episode, Cisco, spoiler alert, he chooses Tay. Tay, of course, has been chosen him, and he essentially been chose her. But right at that scene, he says, we've been through ups and downs, whatever he said. And then he mentions how, I don't have a vehicle. I don't have a job. I don't have a home. I ain't got no money, but I'm happy you stuck beside me. What? I said it. Let's continue. I'm sorry, y'all. So yeah, Cisco gets mad in the confessional that Tay still brings up his lack of stability. His sister, in response to this, says, you just gotta communicate. You just gotta, girl, communicate your eyes. You saw how she was sitting and her eyes just kind of, she's doing this. Cisco sister. What I didn't like about what Cisco said here, he says he's the type of person that when he's with someone, he becomes solutions driven. I don't like that. And he said this before. I remember saying this before. He says this so much that I believe it. I believe that is the case. And you may think, well, isn't that good? Shouldn't you be with someone who's going to motivate you, who's going to encourage you? No. The answer is no. The answer is no. To be facetious here. Obviously, yes. Obviously, you should be with someone who encourages you, who wants you to be your best self. Duh. But you should also have that inner drive. What are we talking about? What? So you were a bum before you met me? I want to meet you as you are already building yourself. Or shit, I mean, even better when you're built. But I mean, that's a idealistic way to look at things. But the point is, you shouldn't have to be with someone to feel or become solutions driven. Can we get some inner confidence here? Can we get some ambition here? Go to school. Angie meets Cam's family. And I mean, this is all a joke to me. This is all a joke to me because I feel like no one was picking Angie for real, for real. She was just a number. Angie always walks in like she had a long day. That's what I wrote down. She be, girl, I get it. You're on your feet a lot as a bartender, but Angie, girl, please stand up, sit up straight, posture yourself. Rose and Sahara joins in. So it's all three of them and one Cam. Cam is just so conflicted. I don't know who to choose. His family says that Cam is stubborn. And all the ladies, they're like, Rose doing all this extra. Come here. Hug me. Ooh, hello, family. Hello. Doing all this extra. Rose, I'm not picking you. Rose, I'm not picking you. And Rose, I hate to say pick me, but golly. Cam has a boat date with Sahara. You can see that he's really into Sahara. He's really into her. I don't know why. To each his own. But I also feel like he likes that rah type of energy. Something about Sahara, not even something about, it's evident she has that energy. But that energy gets tired. It gets old. It gets annoying. Just as his younger, I think it was his niece who said that. She's like, it seems like you guys have great chemistry, but sometimes that could get tired. Like her energy, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, girl, can you be serious? Can you calm down? Why are you always trying to fight? Why are you bucking up at me? Like, can you be soft, be gentle? But Cam likes that. I don't know. Something about Cam. Let's see. Hussein sees Rose and he wants to talk to her one-on-one because he doesn't understand why you told me for the first time ever next to my family that you have an incarcerated baby daddy. Yes, their son is 17 years old now, but the point is the point. You should have told me. He says he feels like, a bomb has been dropped and it was totally inconsiderate. Like I said, Rose made excuses. She says she forgot about it. He's a nothing burger. Apparently, she's been raising their son as a single mother the whole time, so she doesn't even consider him. and it reminds her of a hurtful period in her life. So she starts to tear up, and it was an emotional moment. But I still think, I mean, she did apologize. She did say she's sorry for not sharing that earlier, and she got emotional because of how the mistakes of being with a man like that. I don't know what he's incarcerated for, how that plays into effect even to this day. Hussein even asks, he wonders, will this ex come out checking for her? Does he still expect that you're his woman? Rose saying, no, you ain't gotta worry about that. Rose, what you gonna do? What if a man still claims you? There is nothing you as a woman could do. I promise you that. Yes, you could block all you want, but you have to go to witness protection mode. If a man wants to find you, he will. If he wants to find you, he will. You'll be found. So Hussein tells the fellas about this in the men's vault. And Cam didn't know either. No one knew. So Cam's taken aback as well. Hussein says, this is a deal breaker. I'm good on that. And I think that's what's up. I like that he has boundaries and he's standing on it. And it's not some petty stuff, right? I feel like sometimes with people with boundaries and using the word all the time, they do it unrealistically, right? Like, no one is perfect. No one is going to just say everything and do everything that is aligned to what you want from them. But something as big as omitting the relation of you, or the type of relation you have with your ex and where he is current, I need to know the details. I need to know, what am I getting myself involved in? What am I getting myself involved in? Involved with or involved in? I say it right. What am I getting myself involved with? Yeah, it's with, because in is already said in it. Anyway, so Rose gets eliminated by Cam. They kind of go back and forth because Rose is saying, well, you didn't tell me you was shacking up with Sahara during the getaway. And Kim's like, you was already shacking up with Hussein. What are we talking about? I think Rose just wanted to kind of have a little punch in. Like, okay, well, yeah, you're eliminating me, or yeah, you're calling me out for omitting my son's father's whereabouts, but you didn't tell me you was sleeping with Sahara in the room. What? They ain't got shit to do anything. Okay, so we jump into episode 12 review. Let's jump into that. This is the finale. Cisco and Tay, they have the spaghetti kiss, from that dog movie from back in the day. They have that kiss, and I'm sure it was sloppy and messy, I guess. Uncle Tommy leaves so he greets everyone, let them know that this is your final chance. This is your moment, your time to make your decision, everybody. But before he leaves, he extends some words of wisdom to Cisco, talking about how when he got with his wife, he had nothing to his name. He was broke as a joke, and she held him down. And now she doesn't have to do that anymore, because look where I'm at. Look where I'm at now, baby. And he does this he walks off. I don't know what type of speech that was, but Cisco was moved. He teared up. He does this whole alpha cat. let me stop. I don't want to get beat up. But I think he's alpha. I don't know. I thought, hold on. Come to think about it, I wrote down, it seemed like the move, the little hand, the little gang gesture, hello? It's a joke. But the little hand gesture that Cisco did to Tommy, I thought it was a Phi Alpha hand gesture. But I could have sworn Uncle Tommy said or mentioned at some point, or I noticed somewhere, that he's a Omega Psi Phi. I'm about to do the whole thing, but let me stop. They say if a woman does the whole Omega Sci-Fi thing with her tongue out too, that means he has to lick your face. Oh, college. Oh. At least that's what the college nigga said to me when I was in college. Was that a lie? Anyway, was that sexually harassed? Was I sexually harassed? But yeah, so he's moved. He starts tearing up. Everyone's clapping up like, Tommy. Look, I don't want to shoot this man down. Doesn't mean your worth is null and void because you don't have a job, you ain't got no money, you don't have a vision, you don't have a home, you don't have a car. That doesn't mean you don't have any worth. Do you believe what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I even believe it. No, seriously, that doesn't mean you don't have any worth. I'm just saying, yes, I love the whole like, it's gonna like have faith, everything's gonna. I get that. What is the vision? What is the goal here? And that's what we were robbed from throughout this season. Once he shared this, like since episode 2 or 3. That's what I want to know. I want to see, did they have those conversations, or is Tay just accepting his lack of an answer as an answer? And from what we're seeing in this season, it seemed like that's what Tay is accepting. Who knows? Hussein opts out of meeting Angie's family, and he ends up self-eliminating from the show. He was so devastated and just torn up after Rose's bomb. He said, yeah, I'm out. And he doesn't really feel Angie the way that she deserves to be felt, it seems like. So he did the right thing. Goodbye, Hussein. Hopefully you find someone who is honest with you. Cisco meets Tay's family and brings nothing. He brings nothing. You are meeting an elderly aunt, and you bring nothing. Again, another faux pas. I get it. You have no job, you have no money, you have no home, you have no career, you have no vision, but you could have found some flowers. Cisco, you could have found something. Just embarrassing. Tay's family, they're concerned about his lifestyle, which I thought that was interesting. Did I write that down on my own, or I think that the sister just say that, or her friend? I forget what relation she has to Tay, but saying lifestyle was kind of weird. What kind of lifestyle? I don't know. Rumor has it that he's just trying to make it in entertainment, which already is a red flag. I would have been like, yeah, I'm good. You go ahead. I have faith in you, but not with us. You go ahead. And they feel like, or at least the sister or cousin, whatever relation she has to Tay, she just feels like they're not on equal footing. And that's evident. There's no, I feel like, no, that is it. Cam meets Angie's family. He mentions how love has always been scary for him. And again, this was a missed opportunity throughout the season to really understand that statement. That's a profound statement. Because yes, right after he said that, he says he's ready for love. Okay, but hold on. Are you though? Let's go back to that, because what do you mean you always saw love as a scary thing? What happened in your previous relationships? What were some images or examples of love in your life that made you come to this conclusion? And how soon from this conclusion, how far removed are you from it? That's what I want to know. See, we don't get to the root of the tutor. He's just playing tough guy and bucking up with Sahara, who's bucking up at him. Angie's brother thinks that Angie is scaring Cam. He knows her obviously more than Cam does, but this came up because they discussed the whole knocking windows at your car, and the preview of what we see in the reunion episode. I mean, Angie's scary. Angie even she's doing this. She's doing this to Cam. If you're doing that to any man, you're bound to get knocked upside your face. You're bound to get the fire smacked out of you, right? That's how y'all New Yorkers say. You're bound to get punched, okay? You don't do that to anybody. I don't care. Well, you shouldn't put your hand in front of a man like that either. Kiera has Jay meeting her cousins. Her cousin is just doing extra, but it's cute. It's cute. One of the cousins came with a whole notes app filled of questions to ask Jay. He says how he doesn't believe in 50-50 because that was one of the questions that she asked him. And that's always gonna get women like, oh, okay. Especially them. Those women, they were like, okay, girl, uh-huh. And here's the thing. Do I believe him? I don't know. But he said, what I did like from what he said, though, because it could be true. It could be true. He said that's all he saw. He didn't see his parents go 50-50. No, my father took care of what needs to be taken care of, right? My father was the provider and yada, yada, yada. So I do believe that, what's his name? Jay believes that and can provide that. Now, the way that Kiera presents herself, like this very spoiled, I want what I want, ain't no limit, ain't no budget to my lifestyle. She's like a ghetto fabulous type of bourgeoisie. I don't feel like Jay is financially able to provide her with such a lifestyle, is what I'm saying. I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. And that's just what it is. I think Kiera still has to work and pay for what she wants. I think at the very least, Jay, if they were to live together and get married and all that, I think Jay will take care of the household as far as bills, mortgage, rent, whatever, wherever they live. But if Kiera wants to go shopping, she's gonna have to get a job and use her money for that. But she doesn't have to use her money for household things. I think that's what 50-50 and him not believing in 50-50 means. But I think Jay really is saying, I believe in taking care of the household, taking care of our bills, making sure that we could eat, live comfortably, and be sustained. I got that down. But for you, if you want some disposable spare money, you gonna have to work a job. That's what I think Jay is on. That's what I think it is. Because Jay, come on, you got 2 kids, and I want to say 2 different mothers. So what is this? I don't believe in 50. You don't have, what type of job do you have that you're able to provide her with such a lifestyle that she doesn't have to sweat for anything? Girl, bye. Man, bye. Her cousins feel like Jay is a flirt. The way he comes off, the way he answers. The way he answers. I mean, some people don't realize how they're coming off could give the perception of flirtation. There are times when I was told, "Oh, I think he thinks you like her." And I remember back in college, but I remember, I mean, even sometimes now, I have to be mindful of if I'm smiling too much, if I'm doing too much eye contact, if I'm showing too much of my teeth. It'll be like little things, and some men would believe, oh, she's into me, dog. Like, no, I'm just a smiling bitch. I like to show my teeth. Or I get anxious and I would show this hyper energy, but that's just me being me. That's not me liking you extra or looking at you like that at all. Cam meets Sahara's sister. Sahara describes her sister as an unevolved version of her. Sahara, where is the evolvement in you? Where is the evolution in you? Girl, bye. They bring up the whole conversation of how Sahara still doesn't understand why Cam doesn't know his decision yet. Cam keeps saying, I have an idea. I have an idea. Cam, if you don't get out my face with your almond head. He says decision day is tomorrow, not today. It's tomorrow, not today, because he's feeling frustrated. Sir, I don't care if it's 2 weeks from now. this is still not comforting for Sahara. And especially you're saying, oh, decision day is tomorrow, not today, as if it being tomorrow excuses you from having a better idea, not even idea, a decision made. Are you going to decide right before y'all get to the bridge? Oh, decision is tomorrow, not today. Cam, please. So we get to the end. The couples choose each other. We have Jay and Kiara. They choose each other. Cisco and Tay chooses each other after he says, I don't have a vehicle, I don't have a home, I don't have a job, and I ain't got no money. But you still chose me, and I choose you. Okay, love wins, love wins. Then we get to Sahara and Cam. Cam keeps going back and forth. He's not really getting to the point. Sahara says, you know what? I'm done. I'm good. I choose me. Nope, I don't choose you. Nope, I'm done. I choose me. I choose like she just ends it. And I feel like that was her way of not showing vulnerability. I think that was her way of being afraid, of showing that she's afraid that he could possibly not choose her. And before he even got to the punch, she immediately ended it. That was an example of Sahara simply being this scaredy cat. She's the one who's afraid of love just as much as Cam is. I mean, maybe they are made for each other. But then Cam says something at the end, like, what if I did choose you? What if I did choose you? Like, what are we? I'm not playing this what if game. Cam, what? Pistachio? What? All right, y'all. That is it. That is all. Let me know your thoughts of episodes 11 and 12. I'll be back with the reunion review. Make sure you are subscribed. Leave in the comments below your thoughts and opinions. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.